To the fruit more based than Boots Collins. You versus me, that's like Ali versus Foreman. God's act.
Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Tyler and welcome back to another Call of Duty gameplay commentary. In the background, you guys are watching some Call of Duty 4. It's just a dedicated server that I found the other night. It's a free-for-all sniper lobby. And as usual, before I go ahead and get into the story for today's video, I just wanted to mention that I'm going to be live streaming as soon as this video is done. I'll probably end up starting off on IW4X or Call of Duty 4 like you see in this video, and then I'll be switching over to H1Z1 at some point, and I'm sure Nuka Fight will get on and I'll stream with him. But if you guys want to come chill in the stream with us, go ahead and check that first link down below in the description, and the second link is actually going to be the t-shirt that I mentioned in last video. So in my last upload, I kind of came up with like a shirt idea or like a limited t-shirt that I was going to be doing, and I had mentioned it if you guys would be interested, and I got a ton of feedback from people basically telling me to just make the shirts. Like everybody was saying to make them. I barely got any comments saying not to make the shirt. So if you guys are interested in buying any of these t-shirts, like I said, they're going to be a super limited amount of these. They're only going to be available for about 20 more days, and the shirts are only $25. They really aren't that expensive. I think it's like $3 for shipping or something like that, so it's really not a terribly expensive shirt. And these particular shirts are getting printed on the premium fabric that they have for the t-shirts, so it's going to be a lot nicer quality than just like your regular Hanes tagless tee. And if any of you guys end up buying one of these t-shirts and I don't already follow you on Twitter, go ahead and send me a picture of you with the shirt or like the confirmation of the email for getting the shirt, and I will go ahead and follow you right back. But anyways, that's enough of that. I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into today's story. This story is one of the first stories I had ever told on my channel before, and this took place literally my very first week of working at my job at Chipotle that I just recently quit. So it was almost close to 3 years ago now since this has happened, but it was a pretty interesting and pretty crazy story. I figured you guys would enjoy hearing it. So this one particular day, I ended up going into work and getting in, just clocking in, literally doing my shift like everything was completely normal. And at this point, this was before I was trained on how to work the grill, so I was right up front on the line dealing with like a bunch of customers and whatnot. And so this particular day, I was dealing with serving the meat for the customers as it would come down the line. So like I had said, everything was going completely fine, completely normal, nothing out of the ordinary or whatnot, when all of a sudden I end up getting this customer who comes through the line, and he ends up ordering his food. He ended up getting like a burrito if I remember right, and he moves down the line and gets to the point where I am, where I'm putting on the meat onto the burrito. And now since Chipotle is a corporation, there's like a certain amount that you're supposed to put on each burrito or on each bowl. It's only 4 ounces, it really isn't a lot of chicken or a lot of steak or anything like that. So I put the required amount onto his burrito, whatever, and send it down the line, and he asked me for a little bit more chicken, and I was like, you know what, it's not a big deal, go ahead and you can have some more. And I give him a few more pieces, like a little half a spoonful of chicken. And so after I give him this little half spoon of chicken, he goes, come on man, I know you can give me more than that, go ahead and give me like another spoon. And so I go ahead and ask him like, did you want double chicken on your burrito? And he goes, yeah. And I tell him, you know, that's going to be an extra charge. And he goes, yeah, no big deal, not a worry. And so I give him another scoop of chicken, you know, give him a little cup that marks that his bowl was extra, his burrito was extra meat, and I send it on down the line the way that it's supposed to go. And so it ends up going through the rest of the line. This customer goes through the rest of the line completely normally, having no issues or anything like that. So he ends up getting down to the end of the line where you have to pay for your food, obviously where the register and cashier is. And our cashier is sitting there ringing him up, telling him how much his order is going to be. And he kind of started arguing with the cashier about whether or not he had extra meat on his burrito, even though it was marked that it was extra. He was trying to say he didn't have extra meat. So our manager ends up walking out from the back and starting to argue with this customer. And they're going back and forth between whether or not he had extra meat and whether he needs to be charged. And so this customer is getting so angry and so heated with my manager, he was basically just sitting here arguing back and forth, and he just looks at my manager and goes, you know what, if you're gonna charge me for this meat that I didn't get, I'm just gonna go ahead and take this fucking tip jar right here. And he immediately snags the tip jar off the counter and just tries to book it straight out the front door. And so this customer just hauls ass out the door as fast as he can. And in our particular location or our particular store, we have a security guard because of the area that it's in isn't really the greatest. We got a lot of homeless people and mainly a lot of people just trying to park in the handicap reason. That's the main primary reason that we have the security guard at our store to begin with. So our security guard goes tearing outside out the front door immediately right behind this customer who stole our tip jar, and he just jumps out and tackles him onto the ground into the parking lot. And so I'm sitting inside just on the line serving other customers and watching this going on in the background like, holy shit, what is happening? And so our security guard just has this customer pinned down on the ground out in the parking lot, and he basically just pulls out his cell phone and starts calling the cops. And so the security guard is pinning this guy down on the ground for maybe 5 minutes, and then the next thing we notice, the cops pull up and arrest the guy for trying to steal the tip jar. But in conclusion, in the end of the story, I mean, it was such a stupid thing. Like, why would you steal a tip jar over $1.50 that you're having to pay extra for double chicken on your bowl or your burrito? Like, that man literally went to jail over stealing like fucking $20 worth of tips. We had only been open for a few hours anyway, so it wasn't like we had a huge amount of tips in our tip jar. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this story. I know it's a little bit different from my usual like weed stories or anything like that, but like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And again, if any of you guys get any of the t-shirts, any of the limited t-shirts that are only available for 20 days, then be sure to tweet a screenshot of your email verification for your purchase to me, and I'll go ahead and follow you back. And hopefully I'll see some of you guys in the live stream shortly after this video is up. But anyways, hopefully you guys all have a great rest of your night. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. You guys know I love you. I'm out. Peace.
I got more keys than Alicia. These niggas be talking police. I took your hoe and released her. I used to trap out a Regal. 200,000 on my wrist. I thought it all was a fantasy. 200,000 on my wrist. Lord, I hope it don't vanish. 200,000 on my wrist.